Hey people, how you doing? This is Kenyatta. Welcome to the Men Advocate Network, okay? This is a channel not to degrade or downgrade women or disrespect women in any way. This is a channel to uplift men to help them navigate through this feminist society, okay? That being said, we're going to talk a lot about women and their behavior towards men and how they should navigate through that. But at the same time, there's a balance. I'm going to talk a lot about men and their behavior too, or males, not men, because men act a certain way and males act another way. So we're going to address that as well. Okay? So basically, the title is self-explanatory. Okay? Mommy's baby, daddy's maybe. Okay? My mother used to say this all the time, to me as a child. And it used to actually manipulate me, but we're going to get into that. A woman for 9 months, once she becomes pregnant for 9 months, bonds with this child. Okay? She bonds with this child. So it nurtures him through the food that she eats and everything. So this child hears her voice, hears her heartbeat. Everything about this woman, they're bonding for 9 months. So when this child is born, obviously, it's going to be more attached to a female than a male. Initially, I'm talking about male childs, right? Initially, and then eventually, a child grows up and then looks to be encouraged and look for guidance from a man. Okay, eventually, but initially, for the first, I guess, 5 years or so, 4 to 5 years, is very crucial for a child. And what I'm about to talk about is a certain type of female. Okay, I'm not talking about all females. I'm talking about this type of female, this dirty dog bitch type female that is really responsible for a lot of hurt and pain that are going through the whole community, because they are the front line, ground zero to the birth of a child and the education of a child and how that child turns out. Okay? That being said, okay, what they do is they end up breaking up with the father, okay, because of their choice of a man, okay? They fail to take responsibility for their choices. They had a nice guy that was willing to give them all, give them everything, be there for them, provide for them, but they looked at that guy as a simp. So they ended up having sex with another guy, having a baby with them. Once they have a baby with them, that man leaves them, don't want nothing to do with them, then gassed them up, made them feel like they would have been that man for them. They could leave that simp and you could be with me, make them feel whatever way they was feeling just to get the box. We know what the box is. Don't play stupid. So now this child grows up, and what does the mother do to this male child? The mother does whatever, fills him up with guilt about men. Talks on the phone with their dog bitch female friends and shit. Anybody that will listen to them dogging men. So this child feels guilty about that. You know what I'm saying? So she doesn't say, listen, I made this choice. All men aren't like this. This is me that made this choice. She dogs men because of her weak emotions and the shit that she put herself through by the choices that she made. Now, understand, there's sometimes you can't avoid it. Like, you don't know. Some people are very tricky. That's cool. But come to the realization that you made that choice with that man and you picked a dud. That does not mean all men, because all women experience good men as well. So you know that there's good men out there. So you want to raise your male child to be a good man and let them understand that there are good men out there, and don't turn them into simps. Because what ends up happening is they manipulate this man, this little male child, make them feel guilty. And if that male child isn't corrected, right, it grows up feeling like, okay, I'm going to be different than those men that my mother was talking about. And what they do, because in a sense, I went through that. I vowed to be different than those abusive men that my aunts and my mother and whatever was going through. So I vowed to be different. So what I did was, I said, you know what? I'm gonna treat a woman. But now what I did wrong and what most men do wrong is overly open themselves up to ridicule from a woman and think that they deserve that treatment because they are a man. Okay, that's just her being whatever. So they compromise. But now that woman starts taking advantage of them because they view them as weak. And the vicious cycle continues over and over again. So in this, right now, we're in a real good place because now you have men like me. Now you have red pill men that a lot of them were hurt. So what they're doing is spreading and spewing all kinds of negative things about women when it isn't really that. It's about really just paying attention to your own behavior and holding yourself accountable. But there's some wisdom in that red pill movement. I definitely agree with it. I don't agree with all of it, but I agree with it. So a man, grows up hurt and devastated. You know what I'm saying? So this woman had this child. And before I go further into that, I have something I want to share with you guys. All right? After I share this with you, I'll be right back. But just check this out. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? That's crazy. I don't even know if a lot of you guys were aware of that. And this is just a statistic based on the men that actually challenge the child being theirs. So that means if 100% of men challenge this child being theirs, that number could go to 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%. And here's the kicker. In a lot of cases, they are still responsible for child support. Ain't that some shit? It's not even their child, but the government makes them pay child support for a child that isn't even theirs. Now, there's solutions to all of this. Okay, we're gonna go over the solutions later because I'm not all about problems and spewing hate and fear and shit. There's solutions to every problem. It's just what you're willing to do. If you're willing to take on the solutions, then if you're willing to do what it takes to solidify the situation, you can have a solution for it and it won't bother you. But let's get back on topic. So a lot of these women are having babies with other men and blaming it on the simp. And the simp not even realizing what's happening. A lot of women are cheating like crazy. And we growing up to think that only men are dogs. No, there's a lot of dog bitches out here too. Okay? Their body count is more than most men. So don't get it twisted. All right? That being said, if you really pay attention to that, like that's really sad that this child grows up and that's not even his father. And he grew up these dirty dog bitches. That's unbelievable, but this is what it is. That's where the term bitch is from. Because a dog is going to fuck anything that moves. They're going to let anything run up in them. So they don't know who's the father of that damn child, the baby. Because they got bust up. They bust up the fucking club in each one of them. And there's women out here like that. That's why I call them dirty dog bitches. So they end up doing this, right? And then, and a lot of things, I want you guys to understand that here's the solutions, man. A lot of times, before I get into the solutions, a lot of time what happened with men is that they're so fearful of all of the things that they've heard, the horror stories from other men, that they do not do their own research. And a lot of times, it takes a lot of effort to do that research. So you will be able to have your child or not have to pay child support. It costs money to have a lawyer intervene and give you the laws and all of that. It costs money. This is why I remember a long time ago, I saw a video from Farrakhan. He said, approach a woman with caution and deprivation. Like, really be careful when you choosing a woman. Approach them with caution. Because, yo, I'm telling you, they can actually freaking destroy your whole life. Okay? Empires crumbled because of women. So you are one man. So a lot of times these men, right? They like, yo, my hands are tied. I don't feel like fighting. I don't feel like fighting because I'm not a dirty dog man. So these dirty dog bitches, and most of them don't have jobs. They sit at home on Section 8 as public assistants, so they have nothing but time to think about how to fuck that man over. And who ends up hurting the most is the children. And they do not care. They don't give a damn about if the children are affected. They don't care. They have no worries. They don't care. So that being said, I'm telling you, it's like you have to really pay attention and be careful. But I'm going to tell you, here's the solution. You fight like hell. If you are not a strong man, if you're not going to fight for your child, if you're not going to do your research, matter of fact, before you even have a daggone child, you better do your research. You better, before you even have sex with a woman, before you lay and become intimate with a female, understand the laws, know everything that's in your learn everything that's at your disposal on how to fight if you have a child by this woman. All right? First thing, get a paternity test. Second thing, if it is your child, understand the laws in your specific state and your town and your county based on the laws of child support and custody. That's like a prenuptial agreement. The prenuptial agreement for men is to know the laws inside out before they even become intimate with a female, with any female. Before they lose their freaking virginity, they better go. Matter of fact, I'm going to go even further. All you women that really love your male children, you should really make them understand the laws, and males too, the laws of the paternity and child support and custody. You need to let them understand that. Understand that women could be dirty dog bitches and they disguise themselves well. They dress up and clean up well. A lot of times you wouldn't even know it. So that's why, another thing, I advise not to have sex with women and unless you really do your research on this female. Understand their background. Understand that this is that serious. You'll see and you'll regret not doing that research. I'm going to tell you right now, this is very, very extremely serious. It's like a matter of life or death because your child will suffer if you don't. And that child came from you. So you want to minimize the suffering. The world is already going to attack them. But you want to do your best to do your research and understand the laws before you have a child with a woman. Because she could be a dirty dog bitch in disguise. Hopefully you got some knowledge behind this. This is a great channel. Subscribe and join. Look down there. You're going to see a way to join the channel. I could use any kind of money or whatever to help build this channel and make it a better channel. So that being said, this is Kenyatta Nelson signing out. Peace.